Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco, Dish Out on the Movies, and tonight is our weekly Chef Ramsay frozen food review. We had two entrees and an appetizer. So we're trying the whole, are we done with the entrees?
We are all done with Gordon's shitty entrees.
Yeah, no good.
Thankfully. That's one of the things, by the way, that's one of the things that will be on the top of the list on Thanksgiving when you say, I'm thankful for this and thankful for that. And that's going to be at the top of the list. I am thankful, so thankful, that I am done with Chef Gordon. His shitty frozen dinners, his sellout frozen meals. I'm done with them. Never have to eat them again. And you can guarantee I'll never even look at them again. Like if I, for some reason, go to Walmart, which I don't want to go there at all.
No.
But if for some reason I go in there, I'm not even going to look at the Gordon Ramsay meals. I'm not even going to look over at them inside the door. I'm not even going to look at them. Safi?
I have no desire to. I'm looking forward to trying Travis Kelce's barbecue meals because he is not a chef. He's a football player. He doesn't claim to be a chef at all. So, and people who eat barbecue are very particular. They're particular about the way it's made and when they get it. And we know because we have a barbecue person in the family who, and also we know people who barbecue. They go to competitions. Even some of the people who've been on Masterchef have been barbecue champions.
Barbecuing is a part of being a man.
Well, I don't know about that bullshit.
It's kind of like, when a woman becomes 18.
Oh, Marco, please stop it! Don't listen to that BS. Don't listen to it. Stop it.
She becomes an adult. When a man turns 18, he becomes a griller.
Oh, brother. But anyway,
it's true.
People who eat barbecue know their barbecue. They know what's good and what's bad. So we'll see what happens with the barbecue and how it compares to this Michelin star chef who promotes these. Well, he hasn't really done much promotion. I haven't seen it. He's actually been, and you know why? Because they don't cost that much. I've seen on YouTube, and I think I've mentioned it, or at least I talked to Marco about it. He's been promoting his cookware, or people ask him, and I think it is a valid question, what kind of cookware do you use in your house? And so some kind of expensive, really nice cookware.
It's not worth it.
Pots and pans, I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah.
I can't, and I don't need that. But, and so he's cooked his famous cheeseburgers, and then he's also, I saw, it was like during a football game, he's cooked, it's on YouTube, I'm sorry, I'm watching pieces of the football game, videos of it. Anyway, he was cooking other things. He had like a sample of different things. So, but I have never seen him advertise these fast entree, frozen food entree, and or appetizers.
You've never seen him do that?
No.
No, he has an advertisement, and I could look it up, but
well, maybe I'll look it up on YouTube.
I think it's just once that he's done. Let's see. You keep talking because we have to talk about these meals, Safi.
Okay,
we have to get into them.
This week we had one appetizer, which we had bought last week, but we bought two appetizers, and then we just used one and then saved this one for this week.
Ooh, look, somebody only ate Gordon's frozen meals for 7 days.
Oh,
they didn't eat anything else. What that sounds... I would literally rather jump off a cliff than do that.
That's gross.
That just Like, I would literally rather drink bleach than do that.
Oh, well, wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, I would, because I would
be
not...
dead.
Well, being dead would be better than eating his frozen food for 7 days.
That's terrible.
It's bad. It's really bad.
We've been watching American Horror Story, Roanoke. Oh.
See, he's advertising it.
I've never seen it. You know, maybe if I
like, what a sellout.
I just watched Masterchef, but Marco's been watching all the other things that he has.
Oh, look at the... Oh!
Oh, God.
Are you serious? Look at this false advertising. Look at the chicken pot pie. That looks nothing like it looked. Look at the mac and cheese. That looks nothing like the mac and cheese that we ate.
That actually looks like regular macaroni and cheese.
What a fraud.
Okay, that's disgusting. Okay, turn it off now. You should have...
Look at the lasagna.
Well, you should have watched that before.
That looks nothing like the lasagna that we got.
No, it doesn't.
Nothing like it.
Remember, the lasagna, for his meal, I've never seen this before, is a folded over noodle.
What a piece of shit.
Folded over noodle.
Can you believe...
With all the filling stuff and the sauce and the beef inside.
Can you believe that he did this, Safi?
No, I
That's
don't.
false advertising. Why is he showing these dishes? Why is he showing these dishes that aren't?
I don't know, Marco.
He's like, ooh, this is really good because it's not the frozen that you get. It's the kind that I make at home. Yeah. Piece of shit.
Yeah. Anyway, and we were talking about. Well, let's just talk about what we ate. I'll start with the appetizer.
Yeah.
The appetizer. Now, I told you we had gotten it last week. It was crab bites.
Crab cakes.
Oh, it is crab cakes. They are, let's say, the size of your palm, and in a ball, like a, I can't remember what those things are called. Those breaded things that you eat with, we used to get them at Stevenson's in Independence, Missouri. Cannot think of what they are.
Well, as soon as I got them out of the oven, I noticed that they do look a lot like they do in the package, at least
one thing that's
for the crab cakes. And, personally, I'll just go straight to it because, there's not much to say with them. They were okay.
How many are in the package? A total.
7 or 8.
Okay.
I think. And so
they look like
they're
they do
okay.
in the box.
They're okay. And I feel like they tasted like not too salty, but they just tasted like they were not worth getting at all. Like, I would not be happy if I was throwing a party and I bought those crab cakes as an appetizer. I would not be happy at all because, like, I'd rather just make something at home.
You don't get that many for a party.
Yeah.
Anyway, because if you had them for a party, you'd probably make about, I don't know, a couple of dozen or maybe 3 dozen.
They're very mushy on the inside. And
but I thought they tasted good, but the thing is,
they're not that good, though.
If you get, I don't know if they still do this, but if you get like a frozen fish entree, just the frozen fish, they had Van Camps, and they have
yes, Safi, they still have
They
that.
would have a sauce with it, and you would have to heat it up, or you just put it in a bowl and let it warm up or something like that. But anyway, there's no sauce with it. So we didn't have any tartar sauce because we usually eat fish that doesn't require that. It's not that kind of a fish. It's a fish we have with like a butternut sauce. Or
salmon, which doesn't...
Or salmon.
Salmon doesn't need anything but soy sauce.
Yeah, or we have salmon patties. So you don't have tartar sauce with any of this stuff. So what we did was we just had plain mayonnaise, like a little dollop of mayonnaise.
And it worked.
And it worked fine. It tasted, and it really helped the taste.
Yeah.
And not that it tasted bad. I didn't think it was over salted or anything like that. It's kind of mushy though, but he cooked it in the oven. It was the only thing that we had that could be cooked in the oven. Everything else is
everything else could probably be cooked in the oven, but on the back of these packages, they tell you what to do, what they recommend, and that's all they tell you. You know, they don't give, like, options for each one, except for a couple. Like, for all the other frozen meals we ate tonight, they only told you how to microwave them. So, Safi?
Well, and another thing, too, that when you get them in the oven, it's a longer process, and they could get burned up if the packaging isn't proper. That's why I say they have it on the packaging for a reason, how to cook it. And I think it has to do with the packaging and it burning up or melting or whatever. And I could be wrong, but I think that's right. So that's what we thought about. I gave it I'll give it like a 7.
No, in terms of letters.
Oh, letters? I'm sorry. Well, I give it a B-. It was, to me, out of all the Chef Ramsay foods we've eaten, I mean, all the entrees, all the appetizers we've had so far. Now, we're done with just a side note, we are done with the main entrees. We still have a few appetizers to go.
Yeah, and what we will do is next week, we will have the 2 appetizers, and then we will have our own entrees that we pick out that are just from any random frozen food company, and we're going to say, look, is this better than Chef Gordon's meals? It probably will be, you know, because, you know, I might get like Stouffer's mac and cheese, and, you know that that's going to be good. Because they know what they're doing, unlike Chef Gordon.
They know what they're doing. So anyway, but it's the best of anything we've eaten, of anything. I mean, entree, appetizers, it's the best.
I kind of disagree because...
Well, I haven't liked anything else.
I haven't liked really any of it, but I did like the mushroom risotto better than this.
Not me.
Because I liked because it was less salty, and I don't know, I just feel like, why would I want to get these frozen crab cakes? There's nothing about them that screams... I mean, they say on the package that these are decadent. These are decadent crab cakes, and it's like...
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Yeah, BS.
Like chocolate.
BS. Right, Safi?
Yeah.
I would give them a C+ because in fact, I think the highest grades for everything that I've given has been a C+, so I'm not giving it a B.
Now, I don't know what Marco's intentions or motives were, but
what?
For the
That's mean.
Crab cakes, I just don't know. We don't know whether it tasted fine, but I've had so many problems with eating seafood, like a shrimp, for example. You know, you get those shrimp packs at the holidays. I've been sick so many times because it wasn't good. And I mean, we ate it right away. It didn't sit in the refrigerator for days. And I got violently ill. And so
what are you saying?
I just ate one crab cake. Plus, in fact, it's very fried and breaded, which does not agree with me at all. So for that to be good is pretty amazing, because for many reasons I could only ever eat one, and I hope I'm already have kind of a stomach ache.
Well, what are you saying that what are my motives? Like motives, like what am I, a serial killer?
No, I mean that Marco might. I don't know why he just ate just one. If he had the same...
Oh, I ate 2.5.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay, see, he ate a little bit more than me, because he has not had the problem that I've had with bad luck.
I have had a very bad digestive problem in the fall, but that's been helped by taking medicine, and so but it doesn't matter because like I feel like out of all the appetizers so far, this one has been like the least greasy and the least like really really fried like the other things like.
And that's welcome to me, because I'm getting sick of seeing this stuff soaked in grease.
Yeah, I mean, Chef Gordon, he's all about health. He's all about, eating, fresh vegetables and shit. And then he makes these really bad frozen meals that they'll kill you. They'll fucking kill you.
What I thought was interesting, when I watched the cheeseburger demonstration on this cookware, he used a lot of salt, and he used, I would say, 2 teaspoons, which if you look at a stick of butter and you measure out 2 teaspoons of butter, you'll understand what I'm talking about, on each side of the burger. And I think Marco said that that's actually kind of like what they do with butter burgers.
Oh yeah, so, Culver's, I was just guessing and saying like, they are called butter burgers, so that's probably what they do.
Well, they had an advertisement on TV for Culver's.
Because, like, I tried that before. I tried to do the thing where you put butter on the burger, and it didn't do anything for me. It was completely, like, not worth it.
Well, they show him, like I've said, he salts every side of everything. The lettuce, the cheese, everything. 2 slices of cheese. And I understand that, but not the salt. I wouldn't salt. Anyway, that's his prerogative. But one of my point is that when he's just even doing the regular cooking for himself, he's not exactly doing the healthiest thing. So he based the burgers in butter. That's also when he melts that one on the one side.
But butter's good for you.
Yeah, but it's
very good for you. In fact, it's a very underrated food because of stupid people and their the whole myth about eggs being bad for you and then butter's bad for you. Like they're always scared of fat. They really don't like fats, but they
have to have some.
They love carbohydrates, though. They love candy and bread and shit, but they don't like eggs and butter because that's fatty.
Okay, so we've done with the crab bites, so you understand crab cake. Sorry. Okay, now we have 2 entrees.
I will go through the first one.
Okay, well, I just wanted to say what we do is we get 2 entrees and then we split them in half so we can each have half of each one.
Yeah.
So that's how we both try them.
We can each have half the suffering.
Yeah. And
half the torture. So the first one I want to get through, probably one of the worst ones we've had so far, which is the beef brisket in red wine sauce. First off, this was another false advertising meal because there were no mushrooms in our container, and it is advertised on the picture that there are tons of mushroom pieces or slices, and as well, they say that there's pearl onion. There's hardly any pearl onion in my dish at all. I only had like half an onion. It was gross anyway because it's Chef Gordon, like... It's still hardly anything. And, God, it was really, really bad. I hated it. I felt like I'd rather eat something else than this. Like, anything else. Like, I don't care, like, anything. Anything. I will eat gruel. Like in fucking A Christmas Carol, when Scrooge sits down to have his little Christmas dinner or whatever that is, the little bowl of gruel.
Ugh.
I want Scrooge's gruel before I want Chef Gordon's gross beef brisket with vegetables, and the red wine sauce was syrupy and gross. Everything was gross. It was overly salty. The brisket was fatty. The carrots were really tiny, like in all the other meals. The potatoes were over salty and gross. Nothing about this dish was good. I give it a fuck you. No, I give it a D. I give it a D minus because, like, I really think this is one of the worst. This is even worse than the shepherd's pie. Like, the two worst meals as of now are the fish and chips and this. What do you think, Safi? What do you have to say?
I hated both.
No,
And
about
we're just
the beef.
talking about the beef, and
Yeah.
I hated it. It was fatty meat, and, you know, if you live in Kansas City, it's real easy to get brisket. I mean, you get that anywhere. And if you're a place like here, it's really difficult. It's rarely out. And when it does, they'll have it for a while, and then you never see it again for months. And that's because, you know, Kansas City's closer to the west and to, even though it's in the middle of the country. But anyway, so I don't know where they make these meals, but the meat was, I don't even know if it was brisket. I guess it was, but it was very fatty, hard to chew. I could taste the wine in it, but I just
Not in a good way.
Yeah, I could smell it. I didn't even have to taste it. I could smell it. And I did not like it at all.
No.
And I ate one bite, and I threw it in the trash. And because I know what good brisket is.
Yeah.
We do have, we have barbecue places around the area. This isn't a big restaurant area. I'm not talking about just the town, suburb, whatever we live in. I'm talking the whole metropolitan area does not known for its restaurants. Okay, that's well known too. But we do have one down the street. It's a barbecue. We go there, City Barbecue, and they do have brisket. I don't know where they get it, and you know it's not as good as Kansas City. I'm sorry, barbecue. And I know there's Texas barbecue and there's other places, but
well, we didn't get to try the Texas barbecue. So
right, but I'm the most familiar with Kansas City because that's where I'm from. And anyway, so the brisket, I don't know where it's from, but I don't even know if it really is brisket. It was very fatty.
Well, I don't know.
And even at this restaurant place area, because we never really go to a restaurant because of the germs. Anyway,
no, it's just because we don't want to.
Well, I don't want to anyway. I just ew. Anyway,
unless they're good, which
it would have to be. We would have gone if we would have been in San Antonio or we gone on this neat vacation. We would have gone to a restaurant.
Also though, we used to have a really good restaurant in town called McCormick and Schmidt's, and then they had to close down. So, you know, if they were still around, I would go there every year for my birthday. But
that's more of a...
They closed that down, though.
Yeah. I don't know if they had brisket, but they had other entrees.
They had delicious fish.
Yes, they had fish. Very hard. And we're in a place there's no good... You know, you have to go to the East Coast or the West Coast. You just don't get good... The fish is substandard. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. Anyway, enough of that. But no, I hated it. Ate one bite. And threw it in the trash. I did not like it. And the meat was fatty. And I thought that was terrible. I mean, it was really fatty. It was like the bottom of the barrel.
And this year we had a similar dish to this, which was like a beef and potatoes dish with carrots and onion. And it was a lot better than this. And it tasted very good. And we had it for like, I think 3 or 4 nights. And, this is not it. And, you know, I just don't see, like, why you would want to get this frozen anyway. Like, there's nothing special about this dish of Chef Gordon's. There's nothing special about it compared to, like, getting maybe, like, his risotto or something. There's nothing that pulls me to getting this dish.
And we talked about this too. You go to the store. Now, we actually saw, we had to go to Walmart, remember, because this is the only place that sells this stuff, at least that I'm aware of, because they make it. And this was a grocery person. I'm sure other people have this in other places, where you order groceries, and so they have this person. They had one at Kroger.
And she kind of looked like a mousy little crack addict.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, a personal attack.
She had these little glasses, and
Now,
she
that
was
is
like,
what I was going
she
to
was
talk
like,
about.
she had this creepy little smile, like,
It was really nice. And anyway, she was getting all this frozen
welcome to
stuff.
Walmart.
She was getting all this frozen food. Somebody was just ordering tons of frozen food, and I'm like, ugh, gross.
And she was like,
Because even the kinds that we've, have been good, maybe passable, all the pictures are always fantastic. They always make the foods look perfect. Real cheesy and hot and steamy and soupy and, mashed potatoes, and the vegetables are perfectly cooked, and you get all this, and it's just a facade. Because they have great picture takers, but never reflects the true nature of the food. But we have eaten other entrees that have really good mac and cheese and beef and pot pie that have been from other companies that have been doing it for a while, and they're better at it than Chef Ramsay.
So that was our experience at Walmart this time. We didn't really see an Indian girl with a mustache or an old lady that tried to assault Safi, but we did see a very creepy little girl, and she was like,
she was not creepy.
welcome to Walmart.
She had a job, and she was working her ass
she was
off.
taking all the frozen meals.
Because she was shopping for somebody.
She was
and
kind
that's
of
all
like,
we're getting.
she was kind of like, remember at the beginning of Beauty and the Beast when that ugly old woman goes to the Beast's house and he doesn't let her in, and so then she turns him into the Beast. Like, that's what she looked like. So,
oh, for heaven's sake! That's just BS.
I was glad I didn't have to open any door for her, because I wouldn't.
Okay, that's bullshit.
I'd rather get turned into the Beast.
Okay, stop it. So anyway, I think I gave it an F, and he gave it an F.
D-.
Oh, okay.
No, I'll give it a fuck you, actually. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the next one. The next one is
mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese. Okay, now, anybody's ever had Stouffer? Maybe even Lean Cuisine? Banquet, maybe? I don't know. There's another one. Maybe Michelin or whatever. I don't know, but at least Stouffer's, for sure, has really good mac and cheese. And they've even gone so far as to make family sizes, which are as big as a table for the family, part of a table. And because we had, when Marco was in school and my other son, Jim, I volunteered at band camp, so we had to come up with things, and one of the things we had, this is like a week's worth of lunches, and sometimes into the dinner hour, and we had to come up with planning with meals for like over 100 people, a lot, almost 200 really, if you count all the assistants and even the people like us, the volunteers. We had quite a few people, so you had to come up with meals.
I have a good story about his band camp as soon as she's done with that.
Well, anyway,
she remembers.
We have had the experience with eating Stouffer's mac and cheese at home, and it's something like that, where they had the size, because it's so good, and they've had such a big experience with dealing with it. They've actually have different sizes. So, and one that will accommodate a family. Okay, so anyway.
So are you ready for the story?
Go ahead.
About band camp? Okay. Well, this one time at Jim's band camp, it was like, I think it was like the last day, and they were having all this food, so they had pasta Alfredo, the good kind of pasta Alfredo, not the bad kind.
It was really good.
And it was perfect. It's probably the best Alfredo we've ever had.
Yeah.
And we've never been able to replicate it.
No, not even ourselves.
They had cookies. They had strawberry jelly. They had apple jelly. They had sandwich stuff to make. They had chips. They had sodas. They had everything ever. And so I was extremely bored because how old was I when that was that? How old?
I don't know. I think, let's see, 10 years apart, in maybe 3rd grade.
Okay, so that's like
4th grade.
I don't know, 9 or 8 or something. I don't know. I can't remember.
I can't either.
I was never really a boy anyway. I was always a man.
Oh my God!
I was born a man.
Okay, let's move along. We have a cat to take care of.
So what?
Come on.
And there's plenty of time for things that, because this just makes it longer. And so, I was like really bored because there was nothing to do, and so instead of having anything to do, I just thought, well, I can eat, and I can eat all this. And so I would come up, get pasta Alfredo, and then come back up again and get more pasta Alfredo, and then be done with that and get a piece of pizza, and then be done with that and go back up there and get sandwich making supplies and chips and Gatorade and soda.
Jesus, Marco.
And I ate all that. And then after I was done with that, I would go back up there and get the other kind of jelly. So I did the apple, and then I did the strawberry, and then I went back up there again and I got grape jelly and made another sandwich and ate that too. And then I went back up there again and got a bunch of Oreo cookies, and I just ate like 20 of them.
Marco!
And then... Well, it's a true story, by the way. I'm not exaggerating. And so then
I had to roll him out the door.
No, then I was sitting down, and I was being told that, I was looking at these tables, and I was like, why are they so screwed up? And they were making up stories about how kids used to eat the tables because they were so hungry from the terrible school lunches. And I was getting kind of full at that point. But I was still powering through. And nobody was stopping me. Nobody noticed. I ate everything. I basically ate their whole buffet. And I ate like tons and tons more Oreos. I ate so many Oreos that I stuffed like 20 into my pockets, and I ate more on the way home. And
That's
so
disgusting.
by the time I got home, I was really full. That's the story of band camp. What do you think of that, Safi?
Oh, brother.
I was like, I was not trying to be like Larry Mondello from Leave It to Beaver, but I guess sometimes you can do that. And it's fun. Safi, what'd you think of the mac and cheese?
The mac and cheese was gross. I had like 2 or 3 bites because I was trying. But it was overcooked and it was hard. There was breading on it, which I can understand. You make macaroni and cheese, sometimes you put like a breadcrumb topping on it. And it was hard, and it was just, and it tasted gritty. It didn't have any flavor, cheese or otherwise. And it did have kind of a smell like macaroni and cheese, but it didn't have any flavor, so it was awful. So I only had like 3 bites, and then I threw that in the trash too. So I give it an F. Because we've had, like I said, I went through this with Stouffer's. Like that's one thing that I liked during the 10-year period when I had to take a chemotherapy pill. which actually zaps all the flavor out of anything that you eat. And I got to be like 90, almost 95 pounds. That was my least weight, I think, because just nothing tasted good. Not sweet, not anything. I've been through this before. But anyway, I know, but the macaroni and cheese always, I don't like boxed macaroni and cheese. So I actually like the frozen, like a Stouffer's, but this mac and cheese is terrible.
Yeah.
It does not measure up. I mean, and I don't know who makes the macaroni and cheese for Stouffer's. This is just an example, because I know there's other frozen food brands that make mac and cheese, but they're not Michelin chefs, and they do a better job. So, and I know they've been doing it for a while. That helps, because they know what you're supposed to do and what you can do and can't do. But this mac and cheese was gross. So I ended up really not eating very much for dinner, which I'm going to pay for tomorrow morning. I'll be starving. But anyway, that's the way it goes. So what about you, Marco?
Well,
You loved it as much as me. No,
I had to mix it all together, and so I saw all the components by themselves. I could tell that we were in for a very, very bad time. And I looked at it and I thought, you know what? This looks like wallpaper paste has been mixed in with macaroni. And it looks terrible. I don't want it. I want like good mac and cheese like Annie's. 4-cheese mac.
Yeah, Marco likes the box macaroni and cheese. And because he has gotten that on his own.
Yeah, there was this one time, and here's another story. There was one time where we were at a friend's house, and, it was, hey, I'm Shirley.
Oh, Shirley.
And
Shirley died. She's no longer living.
We were at Shirley's house.
She's a very nice person. She was a very cool grandma.
She used to call Safi and say, hey, it's Shirley.
We were in a writing group together.
When are you going to call me back? And she never did. And so, anyways.
She couldn't hear me.
We were at her house, and they made a homemade mac and cheese. And I threw a tantrum because I hated it. And I thought, this is not real mac and cheese. I want the boxed mac and cheese. So they had to make boxed mac and cheese, which is pretty funny. It tasted a lot better too, and it wasn't very good regardless. So this mac and cheese though, it's really the worst. I mean, it is just so flavorless.
It's probably the worst I've ever had.
The texture is gross. Like it I don't want to say what the texture's like because that's really gross. But like, let's just say it's like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man type of situation. I guess that'll be the code. And so it's just really, really gross. I did eat all of it, though, but, like, I really didn't want to. I couldn't help but, like, be so fascinated by the idea that, like, Chef Gordon Ramsay cannot handle, for some reason, making mac and cheese. He is that much of a hack that he can't make mac and cheese.
But if you watch
so I kept eating and eating.
But if you watch the commercial, it looks fine.
Yeah, the mac and cheese in the commercial looks completely different. It looks nothing like what we got in the box.
With the way mac and cheese should look.
Yeah. So this mac and cheese, I would give it an F+, because I do think it is a lot better than the fish and chips.
Oh, God.
And maybe the shepherd's pie. No. Shepherd's pie was better. So, very strange mac and cheese. I mean, there were breadcrumbs in it for some reason,
and it tasted gritty.
Yeah, it was
sand.
Really bad.
Ugh.
So, Safi?
Anyway, that's it.
Safi?
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and become one of our subscribers. And we are looking forward to Travis Kelce's barbecue meals, which they said is that they're coming. So now he doesn't claim to be any chef. He's a tight end. He's Mr. Football. And a ladies' man with Taylor, I guess. Anyway, so but
with a really ugly, overrated singer.
No, don't do that.
It's true.
Don't do that.
She's the worst.
No, she's not.
She's the fucking worst.
No, she's not. Anyway, we're not going to argue about Taylor Swift. So anyway, we're looking forward to that. But as far as these meals are concerned, and he's a chef, we've seen him millions of times throw away other people's stuff because it was over-seasoned, under-seasoned, mushy, overcooked, undercooked, just whatever.
If she was cheering for my team, I would switch teams.
It's just ridiculous. So anyway, goodbye everybody.
Bye.